Tanyag na international speaker at kilalang PBBM supporter, tila tumatalikod na ngayon sa Pangulo dahil anya sa binagong foreign policy nito. Dating Vice President Leni Robredo, sumasakit na umano ang tiyan ngayon katatawa sa foreign policy ni PBBM dahil wala itong pinagkaiba sa kanya. Magandang araw bayan, magandang araw Pilipinas. Panibagong araw na naman at meron na naman tayong pag-uusapan. Ngunit bago ang lahat, kung hindi ka pa nakakapag-subscribe sa aming channel, please do subscribe and hit the notification bell para mas maging updated ka sa mga newly released naming videos. 31 milyon na budol tayo. Dismayadong-dismayado ang international educator at kilalang pro-Marcos supporter na si Mrs. Rogando Sasot matapos lagdaan ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos ang kasunduan sa pagitan ng US at ng Pilipinas kung saan pinahihintulutan nito ang pagpapalawig ng Estados Unidos sa kanilang access sa mga military bases ng bansa. Ayon kay Mrs., binaloktot ni PBBM ang kanyang mga sinabi sa kasagsagan ng 2022 campaign period sa kanyang panayam kay Boy Abunda kung saan sinabi ng Pangulo na hindi umano magtatagumpay ang US kung sakasakali mang manghihimasok ito sa sigalot sa pagitan ng Pilipinas at ng China. Dagdag pa niya, tiyak ay pinagtatawanan na siya ngayon ni Leni dahil sa kanyang mga buwelta noon ukol sa foreign policy ng nooy presidential candidate, gayong wala naman pala itong pinagkaiba kay PBBM. Narito ang pamumuna noon ni Mrs. kay Robredo na kinakain niya na raw ngayon pabalik dahil sa ginagawa ng PBBM administration na taliwasan niya sa polisiya sa panahon ni dating Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Mrs. Rogando Sasot posted, ang ganda ng babaeng nag-English sa simula, pero ang basihan niya tama ang sinasabi ni Leni. I-supported lang ito ng professors niya. Girl, that is not how you analyze whether someone's foreign policy pronouncement is good. There is a huge difference between an echo and someone who actually has something behind her ears. Post naman ang pagsisisi ni Mrs. During the campaign, I didn't like Leni because of her foreign policy. Now, Leni should laugh at me. Pareho lang pala sila. Binudol tayo. Kinarma na ata ako sa pang-uokray ko sa pangsasalag ko sa foreign policy ni Leni noong panahon ni PRRD. Kasi sa hinahaba-haba ng pakikipagbardagulan ko sa kanya, yung foreign policy pa rin niya ang ending. Baka nga, totoo kang isang berhen, Mama Leni. Na-imagine ko na pinagtatawanan ako ni Leni right now for lambasting her foreign policy during the campaign. BBM's campaign foreign policy, continuity. BBM's real foreign policy, I agree with Leni. Samantala, narito naman ang kabuuang position paper ni Mrs. laban sa foreign policy decision ng Pangulo na siyang gumulantang sa lahat.
Good morning. Good morning. I am speaking today as a citizen of the Philippines. I am speaking today as a Filipino whose identity is rooted in centuries of subjugation from the Kingdom of Spain, the United States of America, and Japan. An identity that flourished through the freedom fought by our ancestors against these colonizers. I am speaking today as an Asian, fully embracing our amazing pre-colonial history and the contribution of our diverse cultures and civilizations to humanity. And I am speaking today as an international relations scholar. In the 2022 presidential elections, I was known as an ardent supporter of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. Just like in 2016, when I supported President Rodrigo Duterte, the primary reason why I supported President Marcos Jr. is his foreign policy. However, I do not support the recent foreign policy maneuver of President Marcos Jr. This is a complete reversal of what he promised during the 2022 presidential one-on-one interview with Boy Abunda on January 25, 2022. Mr. Abunda asked him if he would invite the United States to get involved and help us in our dispute with China. President Marcos Jr. categorically said, no, the problem is between China and us. If the Americans come in, it is bound to fail. Let me repeat that. I didn't invent this. He said this. No, the problem is between China and us. If the Americans come in, it is bound to fail. On February 2, 2023, the Philippines and the United States entered into agreement to expand U.S. access to military bases in our country under the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, or EDCA, which was concluded in 2014 under President Benigno Aquino Jr. Under Aquino's EDCA, the U.S. military was given access to 5 EDCA facilities. Now, under Marcos Jr., the U.S. military was given access to 4 more. Aquino Marcos, the irony of history. The U.S. State Department said that these four more bases, quote, will allow more rapid support for humanitarian and climate-related disasters in the Philippines and respond to other shared challenges, end quote. It sounds very benign. But who are they fooling? The U.S. government-funded Public Broadcasting Service, or PBS, reported on February 2, 2023, that, quote, this move is aimed at confronting China and its focus on Taiwan, which is only a few hundred miles from one of the new locations where U.S. forces will likely operate, and that is in Cagayan. End quote. A joint report by a former Pentagon correspondent and a diplomatic correspondent wrote in the New York Times, also on February 2, 2023, quote, U.S. officials say they are preparing to surge forces in the event of conflict with China, including over Taiwan. End quote. If you are very observant, you will notice what is kept being repeated and emphasized in Western media. Taiwan, confronting China, conflict with China. And there is a reason for that. Taiwan is in the middle of the defensive perimeter of the United States in the Pacific theater. Runs from the Kuril Islands to Japan, Philippines, all the way to the Malay Peninsula. I didn't invent this. Taiwan is in the defensive perimeter of the United States. Take a stick and cut the middle. What would happen? The rest would fall. To fully understand current U.S. posturing in our region, one must read the 2022 National Security Strategy of the United States. And they just released this in October 2022. Okay, very new. On page 24 of the section on China, the National Security Strategy of the United States gave an exact number of years. 10. Let me quote it. In the competition with the People's Republic of China, as in other arenas, it is clear that the next 10 years will be the decisive decade. We stand now at the inflection point where the choices we make and the priorities we pursue today will set us on course that determines our competitive position long into the future. End quote. I think that's very self-explanatory. Okay? Taiwan is a U.S. priority. And before I continue this, so anyone who's dreaming that the Philippines is a U.S. priority or the Kalayaan Island Group is a U.S. priority, you will never find it in the national security strategy of the United States. Nada. You can find there a sentence about the Philippines, but nothing about extending the MDT to the Kalayaan Island Group. But you can find a sentence there that the United States is extending its mutual security pact all the way to the Senkaku Island. So wag na tayong magbobula-bulahan dito, no? Na para ito sa South China Sea and Kalayaan Island Group. Walang ganon. Actually true. So Taiwan is a U.S. priority. They have an quote, they have an abiding interest in maintaining peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait, which is critical to regional and global security and prosperity and a matter of international concern and attention. The operative word is critical to regional and global security. Of course, this is just a euphemism to the security of the United States because it is the defensive perimeter of the United States. So what is actually being foreseen by the United States that could happen in the Taiwan Strait within 10 years? So 10 years, ha? Ito, nakalagay din doon. Changes in the status quo. So what are the changes in the status quo that the United States cannot accept? Either mainland China gains full control of Taiwan or Taiwan becomes independent. So either of these two, the US won't accept. It's in their national security strategy. Okay?
Anong masasabi niyo ukol rito, mga kababayan? Just comment it down below sa comment section and give a massive thumbs up kung nagustuhan mo ang paksang ating tinalakay. At huwag kalilimutang mag-subscribe sa channel na ito. Maraming salamat sa inyong walang sawang panonood.